Hello, Steve. How are you? Um, I agree with we are all priests within the kingdom, and care can only succeed with the entire body, uplifting, attending to each other's needs and struggles. I most definitely agree with that, whether we're in counseling or not. You know, everybody is a minister that's a Christian. We're all ministers, and I most definitely agree um, with you when you said, very good point, that in ministry that they talk about a lot about shepherding the flock. And yes, in which we follow Christ's example, but we must teach because Christ taught as well, and we must demonstrate by our own examples, which Christ demonstrated as well by his own examples and guidance, and to instill the church of deep pleasures and the duties that come along aside of it. And I totally agree. So many churches today have gotten away from teaching the word, and they're just talking about the word, but they're not actually teaching. So even as we shepherd, you can't lead a flock if you haven't taught them in the way to go. You can't teach your sheep how to be obedient if you don't show them the way and if you don't guide them. But as you were saying, they're always talking about shepherding and being shepherds. But you have to also be a teacher, because leaders are teachers. People, you lead by example so that you're teaching, and your words are powerful. So in James it says, blessings and curses can't come out the same mouth. So if you're leading me, you're gonna have to lead properly, and you must lead by example. So all shepherds that are leading sheep have to be teachers, because teachers are leaders. So you have to be good in that. And I have one thing that made me giggle. When you said we are called, let's see, let me read it all. Kong, where he says that functions of the community of having direct access to God, we are called to make spiritual sacrifices, to bear witness, to baptize, to forgive sins. And then you said, not sure if I agree with this aspect. And so I wish I would have responded earlier, because my question would be, why do you not agree with to forgive sin? Because as Jesus said, doctors don't come to to heal the sick. The well, they heal the sick. And so it's the same with us. We're not looking for all saints to be pastors to or to talk to. We looking for those that are hurt, and most of the time those are hurt are those that are living in sin. And it's ironic that I had just wrote a sermon about forgiveness, and to forgive sin, you have to have forgiveness, just as God forgives us. And he forgives us time and time again. Jesus even told Peter, when Peter asked how many times is he supposed to forgive, and he said 70 times 7. Nobody's going to count 70 times 7 times. You're not going to say once, okay, that's 2. Okay, that's 3. So that means we're supposed to give and forgive unconditionally, not keeping a score. So you have to, as people, we have to learn to forgive, because forgiveness is not for the other person. Forgiveness is for us. And if you're not forgiving that person for their sin, then that's really tying into selfishness, because that's you not forgiving that person for sin, because God forgives them. And if you're working in under God, then we as people have to learn how to forgive even those that have hurt us, those that have wronged us. Now, just because we forgive somebody for sin does not mean that we have to be their best friend. That means that we just have to be cordial. We have to be Christ-like. You just wash your hands from it and keep moving. But we must forgive for the sins. And again, I just thank you for your posts. Thank you.